是我们很开心的一起来到教会，很值得，对不对？
Because we know there's nothing better to do than to come together and worship Christ.
因为最美好的就是在主日，我们可以大家聚集在一起敬拜上帝。
And we do it even in the midst of difficulty.
然后很难的时候，我们也是这样子的心。
So even though there's other things that our bodies might want to do, we know that this is where we want to be.
我们的身体可能会不想坐在这里，可是我们知道这是非常美好的。
Now that's a little bit of what we want to talk about this morning.
这是有一点像我们今天早上要讲到的题目。
We're going to be talking about the message that we have been entrusted with as Christians.
我们今天要讲到上帝他给我们要传扬的讯息是什么？
And a lot of times we think that as Christians, after we become Christian, it's time for us to move on to different things.
有的时候我们会觉得，我已经成了基督徒了，我现在要开始做其他的事情了。
But the reality is the gospel is something that we need to always have at the forefront of our minds.
可是福音是对每一个基督徒是第一重要的。
And we're going to look at a passage that gives the gospel in such a clear way that hopefully it's going to help us to know how we should live and what we should be doing right now with our time.
福音对每一个基督徒都是非常重要的，在每一个时刻，我们今天会来想想看，为什么是这样子说呢？
Now this passage in 2 Corinthians 5 is a very, very beautiful, clear passage about what the gospel is.
哥林多后书在这5章11到21节，保罗在这里提到非常美丽的福音是怎么样可以激励我们，而福音是什么？
And as Christians, it's a passage that we are very interested in knowing and understanding.
对基督徒来讲，这是我们非常有感兴趣的一个题目，而且我们想要认识更多的。
But having said that, it's a passage that when we read it, it's kind of a strange conversation going on.
可是我们虽然讲到这个，我们来看哥林多后书这边这个的谈话我们可能会觉得有一点不一样，有一点奇怪。
And the reason for that is it's a letter that's being written to a specific group of people that is not us.
因为这一个哥林多后书的这封信写的不是直接写给我们雷虎教会的这个人。
Now that's not to say that we shouldn't read it. God gave it to us and it's something that we need to know and we need to study from God.
这个不代表说对我们不重要，这是上帝的话语，所以我们今天要来查考在这里保罗说到了些什么，对哥林多教会说的。
But as we read it, it's a conversation happening between the Apostle Paul and a church that he started.
在这里我们要想到，这里写的是保罗在哥林多，使徒保罗他在哥林多建立的这个教会，他跟这些教会的人说了些什么重要的话。
And as we listen in on this conversation, it's going to tell us something not only about the message that we preach, but the way in which we should preach it.
这里上帝记载下来，我们懂了这一些经文，我们就可以了解福音是什么，而如何传扬这个福音。
And hopefully it's going to help us in our lives as we seek to share the gospel with those around us.
我们的盼望是我们懂了这个福音，如何传扬这个福音，我们可以做到上帝要我们做到的。
So the first point that we'd like to look at
第一个我们要提到的是
is the question of how this message is often received.
我们第一个想要提到的是这个福音的信息，常常在世界上这些人是如何接纳那些传福音的人。
So we're going to read verses 11 through 13.
我们来看看第11到13节。
Let's read that together.
我们来一起读，请。
我们既知道主是可畏的，所以劝人，但我们在神面前是显明的，盼望在你们的良心里也是显明的。我们不是向你们在举荐自己，乃是叫你们因我们有可夸之处，好对那凭外貌不凭内心夸口的人有理的答。我们若果癫狂，是为上帝；若果谨守，是为你们。
Now we have this passage starting with the Apostle Paul having to give a defense of his ministry.
我们在这里看到使徒保罗，他一刚开始在11节要很清楚的说， 为什么他要做他所做的这些事情？他需要解释他自己。
And the reality is, the Apostle Paul was attacked and criticized a lot for his ministry.
为什么他在这里要解释他自己呢？因为常常别人会批评他做事情的方式或传扬的讯息，他常常被批评。
Now, does that sound strange to us?
你们会不会觉得很奇怪呢？
It probably does, because when we think of the Apostle Paul, we hear that name and we hear, wow, he's a guy who God used in such an incredible way.
可能对我们来讲会有点奇怪，因为我们都非常知道保罗是多么的重要，非常的喜欢他，而他说的话都是非常好，所以我们可能会对保罗的看法不会看得很低。
But did you know in his day, the Apostle Paul was criticized by many people?
可是，在保罗当时在哥林多，在这个时候，在他生活的这个时候，常常很多人不喜欢他，批评他，这样子说他是不好的。
People would say that he was proud,
很多人说他很自大、很自夸，
that he spoke in a way that was constantly going against other people.
他说的这些讯息常常跟别人是不一样，而他会说别人是不对的。他常常会说这种话。
They would say that he was a troublemaker.
因为他做了很多事情，会让很多人很烦恼。为什么你做这些事情呢？
They'd say he's too confident in what he believed.
你相信的这个讯息，你的自信太高了，你怎么可以这么有确据说这个就是真实的？
And some people would even say that he was crazy, that there was something wrong in his mind.
有些人他会说，他很疯狂、很癫狂，为什么你会做出这些事情呢？
But Paul here defends himself, and he doesn't defend himself for his own honor, but because he wants them to hear the message that he preaches.
这里保罗他一刚开始很直接的就跟大家解释为什么他要做这些事情，而他解释的方式不是要荣耀自己，而要让大家知道上帝是谁。
He told them that he did what he did because he knew the terror of the Lord.
他说我这样子做，而我这样子做的原因是因为我知道上帝是可畏的。
He understands that there's a day coming when every person will stand before the judgment seat of Christ and give an account for the things that they've done.
因为他确确实实的相信，在那一天，每一位罪人都会在上帝的面前，而上帝会看到每一个人所做的事情，上帝要每一个人会跪在上帝的面前，所以他说这是一个非常可怕的事情，而我们要可畏上帝。
And that's a big problem for every human being on the face of this earth because every one of us stands condemned before God in our sin.
这是一个很大的问题，因为每一个人都是罪人，在上帝的面前，我们是没有办法自己救自己的。
So the Apostle Paul gave his life preaching a message that was unpopular because he understood that God wanted him to do that.
保罗他虽然知道没有很多人喜欢他传这个福音，传这个讯息，可是他说这是真实的，我必须为上帝而活。
He was fully convinced of the message that he preached, and that's why he preached the way he did.
他完完全全的相信上帝的真实，上帝他传的福音，他传的讯息，所以他做了他所做的这些事情。
So the first thing we see is this message is often not received.
所以第一，我们常常看到他讲的讯息，很多人不接纳、不接受。
A lot of people didn't listen to the Apostle Paul.
很多人没有听到使徒保罗的不想要听他说的这些话。
And the same was true of Jesus.
然后这也是跟耶稣很像，同样的。
In fact, a lot of people said the same thing of Jesus that they said of Paul.
常常这些人说到保罗的不好，为什么你做这些事情，在这样子说的方式，在基督耶稣的身上也常常发生。
Jesus' message was unpopular and people called him a troublemaker.
常常耶稣在讲道的时候，很多人非常讨厌说，为什么你要做这些事情？为什么你要让这么多人觉得他们是不对的？
And so the reality is, if we bring the same message, we are going to be criticized probably in the same way.
所以，如果我们传扬是一样的讯息，那我们可能也会有同样的，别人会这样的同样的反感，有这个感觉。
Next, we want to look at some characteristics of these messengers.
我们现在第二要看到的是这些传这些讯息的这些人，他们是什么样的一些人。
And we see this as Paul talks about the type of messenger that he is. We can learn some things about people who preach that same message today.
所以保罗讲到他自己像是什么样的一种人，我们可以来学习看看。
Let's first read verses 14 and 15.
我们来一起读第14跟第15节，请。
原来基督的爱激励我们，因我们想一人激励众人死，众人就死了，并且他替众人死，是叫那些活着的人不再为自己活，乃为替他们死而复活的主活。
So the first characteristic of these messengers is that they do not live for themselves.
所以我们第一个看到的这些品格，传这些话语的这些人，他们的品格是不为自己的利益而活的。
Now this is the strangest thing for people in our world to think about.
现在这是在世界上很多人如果是这样子的想法，会非常的奇怪。
No matter where you go in the world today,
今天不管你去世界各地哪一个地方，
people everywhere will tell you
每一个人都会跟你说，
the purpose of life is living for yourself.
那生命的意义当然是为自己而活了。
That's what it means to be a human, right?
人做一个人的意义就是这样子，对不对？为自己而活。
To do things for yourself and to help those around you and to have a good life.
为自己而活，你可以跟别人有很好的互动，而很开心的这样过下去。
But for the Christian and for the messenger of the gospel, we understand that life is not for ourselves.
所以基督徒人来说，对传福音的人来说，我们知道生命不是我自己的。
Instead, it's a life of servanthood for Christ.
我们知道这个生命是给做耶稣的仆人的这种生命。
Every decision we make
我们所做的每一个思考，
is what does Jesus want me to do?
而我们想的每一个问题，做出来的事情，我们会先问问自己说：耶稣要我做什么呢？
The Apostle Paul calls himself the servant of Christ over and over in his letters.
在这些书信里面，使徒保罗常常说：我是耶稣基督的仆人，我是耶稣基督的仆人。
And we can even say that we are slaves of Christ.
或者是像仆人，他是常常用我是耶稣基督的奴仆的这种形容来说。
He owns my life and everything I do is for him.
我的生命是在他的掌控里面，所以我做的每一件事情都是为他而活。
And people say, that's crazy. You haven't even seen him. Why would you give your entire life to him?
常常很多人会跟保罗说：“你这个太疯狂了，你都没看过他，为什么你会用你全部的生命为一个你没用眼睛看过的人而做出这些事情呢？”
But the reality is we understand that we were dead in our sins and Christ has given us life.
可是我们知道，我们本来是死的，而因为耶稣基督，我们才有了生命。
We were condemned and imprisoned and Christ has made us free and alive.
我们在罪里被捆绑住，而是耶稣基督他救了我们，所以我们不再为罪而活，我们可以为上帝而活。
Now maybe you've seen in movies or heard stories of people who their lives are saved by someone and then they live their life in gratitude for that person.
可能在电影的故事里面，或在不一样的故事里面，可能这些故事有描述说，这个人他非常感恩另一个人，他这样子的救了他，所以他为他的自己的生命，他这样子的而改变。
They say, because my life was almost gone and you saved it, now my life belongs to you.
他这个在电影可能有时候一点故事，在不一样的故事里说，这是因为你这是我的救命恩人啊，那我真的是要好好的来用我的生命，然后做你要我做的事情。
I one time had an accident hiking where I fell off a mountain.
有一次我在爬山的时候有了一个意外，我就掉下来了。
And I was 300 feet, 100 meters, a long way down, no way to climb back up.
掉得非常的深，因为它是非常陡的一个山，所以杰米没有办法自己再走回来，跑回来。
And that time, the only hope that I had was for someone to come and rescue me.
他知道他唯一的盼望是这一些专门的人会来，然后救他。
So we had a rescue team come and they had ropes and machines and they came down and pulled me up out of that mountain.
所以真的这些专业的人，他们真的来到了地方，然后他们有他们特别的机器跟绳子掉了下来，所以我才可以上去。
So I had to spend 3 hours on the side of that mountain praying and thinking that I was going to die.
所以在等待这些人他们来的时候，大概有3个小时，所以我一直祷告，希望你们要赶快的来啊。
And I was very, very grateful when the man came down and started to pull me out.
当我看到那个人他有慢慢的下来，跟着很多的那些绳子来的时候，我非常的感谢他，就这样子的来救了我。
And once they saved me, I said, "Thank you so much."
他拉我到安全地方的时候，我很感谢他，我跟他说，真的很感谢你。
But that was it.
可是就是只有这样子而已。
Now imagine somebody coming and saving your life.
然后，所以你想想看，如果这个人他来救了你的生命。
And losing their life in the process.
他不是只是救了你的生命，而他知道他要救你的时候，他会牺牲他自己的生命，而他却做了这一件事情。
Saving your life at great expense to themselves.
他知道他来救你的时候，他一定会牺牲他生命，而且不是很轻松的牺牲，是一个很痛苦的这种牺牲方式。
That's what we have received. We've gone from death to life.
那就是我们在基督里所得到的，我们从死有得到了生命。
And now we are servants and slaves of Jesus Christ.
所以我们现在是基督的仆人，基督的奴仆。
Everything we have belongs to Him.
我们所有拥有的一切都是他的。
Next thing that we see
下一个我们所看到
is
的
verses 16 and 17. Let's read those together.
是第16跟17节，我们一起读，请。
所以我们从今以后不凭着外貌认人了，虽然凭着外貌认过基督，如今却不再这样认他了。若有人在基督里，他就是新造的人，旧事已过，都变成新的了。
Now what these verses mean is that we have had a complete change of thinking about who we are and who others are.
这经文里面，我们可以所看到，我们在思考方面完完全全的不一样了。我们的思考方式是从死了到有生命的。
Now we can use the Apostle Paul as an example of this.
所以我们可以看使徒保罗来做这一个榜样。
In Philippians, Paul talks about his qualifications before he knew Christ.
在腓立比书，我们可以看到保罗他还没有成为基督徒的时候，他是活的什么样的生命？
Do you know his story?
你知道保罗的故事吗？
If you lived in his day, you'd probably say, well, he's a very, very intelligent man.
如果你在那个时候认识保罗的话，你可能会说他是一个非常有智慧的一个人。
He was trained in a good place.
他的学习的环境跟学校是非常要好的。
He's got a great teacher.
他的老师是非常好的老师。
He truly believes everything that he says about the Bible and the Old Testament.
当他在传讲旧约圣经的时候，他完完全全的相信他所说的话，而且很有智慧的来说旧约的事情。
His life backs up that he really believes who God is and what God has done.
保罗他不是只是一个很好的老师，而在他的生命里面，大家也都看得到，哇，他做出他所说出的话。
And he was zealous to persecute the Christians because he thought that they were wrong.
他还不是在做基督徒之前，他觉得他自己是为上帝而杀了很多的基督徒，来逼迫基督徒。他很相信他自己所做的事情。
But you can go back even further. He was born into a good family.
可是，在保罗他还没有在长大成人的时候，我们也可以看到他的家庭背景，他出生的家庭背景，他没有办法自己掌控的，都是一个非常好的家庭背景。
They had money.
他的家庭是非常有钱的。
His family had Roman citizenship, something that a lot of people in that time didn't have.
在那个时候的以色列人很少有罗马人的这个身份，而保罗的家庭居然有罗马人的这种身份。
And all these things built a person who is very proud, very self-confident, very capable.
所以你可以看看保罗，他是一个非常自豪，觉得自己的威严威力是非常大的，而且他觉得他自己是一个非常好的一个人。
When people looked at him, they saw him as an exalted person.
大家看到保罗的时候，他说：“哇，你是非常的那么好的一个人。”他很夸他。
But what happened when he came to know Jesus?
可是我们来看看，当他知道耶稣基督是谁的时候，发生了什么事
Jesus had to come and rescue Paul from his life.
耶稣基督他要来，然后救保罗，给保罗生命。
And when Paul received the life of Christ, he realized all those things before were worthless to him.
当他得到真正的生命的时候，保罗知道，我以前所活的为这些东西而活的都是不好，都没有用的。
My old confidence in myself and pride means nothing.
我以前是依靠自己在上帝面前得益处，这是任何意义都没有的。
And now I'm giving my life to Jesus and going and telling all people about who he is.
我现在舍去我以前的这种生命，而现在我完全为基督而活。
He had a complete change of thinking about who Jesus was and who he was as a person.
他的思考完全的改变了，他思想完全改变了。
And he didn't look at people as some people as being worthy of the gospel and others not. He preached the gospel to all people, to the poor as well as the rich.
跟以前非常不一样，以前他只有跟一些法利赛人跟以色列人在传讲上帝的话语，他现在是跟各地去不一样的地方，跟外邦人、穷人，全部的各个的地方都跟他们传扬这个上帝的福音。
So rather than looking at himself as something, he saw himself as a poor and needy person.
所以他看自己的看法也完全改变了，他不是看自己像是一个非常要好的一个人，他看自己是我也是罪人，需要耶稣基督的救赎。
Pastor said something about this that I think is really helpful.
有一个牧师讲了这一句话，我觉得非常有帮助。
He said that all too often Christians see themselves as people who are blessed, taking the gospel to poor and needy people.
常常有一些基督徒会想自己是非常好的，非常有福的，或者是非常有很多东西的，给一些穷人，这些需要福音，就是没有福音啊，他们好穷哦，这样子给他们。
They feel bad for the people around them, and so they tell them the gospel.
他们觉得我身边的人都好可怜，所以我要传这些福音给他们。
But the reality is that Christians are beggars telling other beggars where they can find food.
可是比较好的例子，真正的例子是我们也是那个要饭的，跟另一个要饭的人说，饭从哪里可以拿到？
Jesus has given us grace, and it's only that grace that makes us anything.
耶稣基督给我们恩典，而是他的恩典，我们罪才可以被赦免。
And he offers that grace to all other people.
这个恩典是给全世界的每一位的恩典。
Doesn't matter how much money they have, what family they come from, what they look like.
你不是他的外貌是多好，所以他可以有这个恩典，或他家庭背景，或他有多有钱等等，不是为了这些因素。
And so we go as messengers who recognize we are nothing and we're taking the gospel to people who need it.
所以我们在传讲上帝的话语的时候，这个福音的时候，我们不是我们有多好，而是上帝利用了我们传讲这个福音给世上的每一位。
Next, we're going to look at the fact that as Christians, we are ambassadors.
最后我们要看到的是，我们是做基督的使者。
In verse 18 and 20, let's read that together.
第18到20节，我们一起读，请。
一切都是出于上帝，他借着基督使我们与他和好，又将劝人与他和好的职分赐给我们。这就是上帝在基督里叫世人与自己和好，不将他们的过犯归到他们身上，并且将这和好的道理托付了我们。所以我们做基督的使者，就好像上帝借我们劝人明白，我们与
are ambassadors for Christ when we have this message that we bring to the world.
我们这里读到，我们是做基督的使者，我们替基督传扬这个重要的讯息。
Now, this idea of an ambassador is a very interesting thing for us to understand.
做这个使者，我们要来看看这个意思是什么。
An ambassador is someone who brings a message to someone else representing a party.
做使者的人，他最重要的就是他被托付的这讯息，他要说的非常的清楚。
And we often think about it as somebody being an ambassador from one nation to another
我
nation.
们常常想是一个国家，他需要代表而这样说这些话到另一个国家。
Maybe you can think about a king sending an ambassador to his subjects.
或是一个国王要跟他的人民说话，所以他需要一个使者来传扬他要说的东西。
But Christians being called ambassadors of God's isn't actually a very powerful idea.
可是我们做基督的使者是一个非常荣耀、非常好的一个说法。
The Apostle Paul recognized that he was speaking on God's behalf to the people.
保罗很清清楚楚的知道，他是说的不是他自己心里所想出来的，他清清楚楚知道这是基督上帝要他所传扬的。
That's a very honorable position, isn't it?
这是一个非常有荣幸，上帝给这个荣幸给了人。
The fact that God would use people like us, people in need of grace, to bring His message to others.
这个荣幸真的这么美妙，对不对？一个罪人需要恩典的罪人，居然有这个荣幸来传扬上帝的福音。
And so on the one hand, we think this is a very exalted position for us as people, normal people.
所以我们在平常的眼看来，我们说这是非常有一个荣幸的一个可以做的一件事情。
But the other thing that's important for us to remember is the ambassador is merely bringing the message from one party to the other.
在同时间，我们要清清楚楚知道，使者是要完完全全说跟传扬他派的这个人他要所说的话，不可以改变这个讯息的。
It's not about how smart he is or how good he is at his job.
使者他重要的地方不是他自己有多么的聪明，或他可以编造什么说东西。
His job is to tell the message accurately.
使者最重要的就是清清楚楚的说出来他必须要说的这些话。
The ambassador is not the hero.
使者不是最主要的主要的人，使者他不是英雄。
He doesn't deserve the recognition or the praise.
使者不是有称颂使者的，使者他不是那个被称颂的英雄。
Now, if Taiwan sent an ambassador to America,
如果台湾派一个使者去美国，
and they sent them with a trade deal,
然后呢是要讨论经济商议的事情，
we would say they should bring that deal and tell it to the other government.
所以台湾他们的这个使者要很清楚的跟美国的这些人说。
What would we do if, as they went, they had some conversations and some meetings, and they said, you know what, I want to make a new deal.
然后呢，如果这个使者在沟通在谈的时候，他说，我们需要改变一些事情，不对，这个不是很好。
We would say that was a terrible decision. That ambassador didn't do their job.
如果他只是自己想，觉得我觉得这个比较好，那个比较不好，自己改来改去，在美国那边自己改来改去，我们会说这个人他没有做到他的工作。
And on the same hand, if the message is brought and the other side says, wow, I think that's a great idea, and the governments have a good result come from this work.
另一个角度来看，如果这个使者来说台湾要做些什么事情，那美国说这非常好，我们非常喜欢这个主意的话，
And good results come.
然后非常好的结果。
No one points at that ambassador and says, wow, you did such a good job. You are so smart.
没有人会把他的手在使者这边说使者你太棒了，你怎么会想到这些事情？他们不会这样子说。
All of the result is thanks to the one that sent the message in the first place.
这个非常好的结果是会回到台湾的这个政府这边，对不对？他是从台湾这里来的。
So as ambassadors for Christ, it's not about us and what we can think of.
所以做基督的使者，不是我们可以自己编造多美丽的讯息，而是基督的讯息有多美丽。
We can't change the message to make it the way that we think people want to hear it.
我们不可以改变这个讯息，所以别人会觉得更好听。
And at the same time, when people get angry at us, they're not getting angry at us, they're getting angry at the one that sent the message.
同样的，如果别人生气、不喜欢这个讯息，他们不是在生我们的气，他们是跟上帝生气。
And so the idea of being an ambassador is one that carries a great responsibility for us to bring the message clearly.
这个工作非常的重要和这个上帝托付了我们要做这个基督的使者，这是一个很严谨、很严肃的一个要做的。
So we've talked about what the messengers are like now.
所以我们已经讲到传这个福音的人，他是像什么样的行为。
We'd like to wrap up with what the message is that we bring.
那我们在最后要讲的重点是，那传这个福音，这个讯息是什么呢？
It's this message that makes us the type of messengers we are.
是因为这个讯息，所以才会产生我们会传这个讯息的人是什么样的人。
It's because of the message that we preach that people react the way that they do.
而是这个讯息的重要性，他们有什么，别人有什么反应，是因为这个讯息的重要性。
So what is the good news that Christians bring to the world?
所以这个福音，基督徒给世界的给传扬的福音是什么福？是什么福音呢？
Let's read this verse again.
我们来一起读第21节，请。
神必使他无罪的，替我们成为罪，好叫我们在他里面成为上帝的义。
Now when we read that as the good news,
那我们再读这个就是福音。
the message is very, very clear and very simple.
在圣经里面，上帝记载福音非常的清楚，非常的详细。
It's that we are sinners
我们是罪人，
in need of God's grace.
我们需要上帝的恩典。
God put our sin on Jesus Christ
我们的罪被放在耶稣基督上，
and put the righteousness of Jesus Christ on us.
然后是基督他的义放在我们的身上。
In the way that now we stand before God as righteous, not because of what we have done, but because Jesus has taken the punishment on our behalf.
所以我们在上帝的面前，我们得义，不是因为我们做任何事情，是因为耶稣基督他为我们做的。
Now this is a message that has never been popular.
这个福音，这个讯息，从在历史里面从来不是一个大家所爱听的一个讯息。
This is a message that is constantly getting confused and getting messed up.
常常这是一个常常很多世界的人在历史里面会要混乱这个讯息。
This is a message that from the earliest days has been misrepresented.
在很早的时候，基督传扬出来，很多人就想要改变这个讯息。
But the reality remains the same, that the important thing is that people understand that they're sinners and that God has offered them grace in Christ.
所以就像以前一直到现在都是一样的，最重要的就是福音的，这福音就是我们罪人需要基督耶稣。
Now, a lot of people, when they hear this message,
很多人听到这个讯息的时候，
they say, that's not good news at all.
他们觉得这个是什么福音？这不是好消息呀！
Before I heard this news, I thought that my life was okay.
我没有听到这个讯息之前，我觉得我很好，我是一个很好的人呢。为什么你现在跟我说我
But
是
now I
不
have
好
to be worried that God's angry at my sin.
可是现在反而我知道这个讯息以后，我要担心上帝是不喜欢我的罪的，这是有结果，上帝是讨厌罪的。我现在要担心这个问题。
Now my life is harder.
然后我的生命现在更难了。
Well, the reality is this message, whether people are ignorant of it or not, is the message that this world is built upon.
就是每一个人，就算他们知道或不知道这个讯息，这是我们所活的真实的事情。
as we look at the world that God has made and we look at the sin that's in each one of our hearts from birth, we see that we stand in opposition to God who created us.
我们看到这每一个世界上的人，上帝创造的人，而我们看到我们每一位都是罪人，而每一个罪人跟上帝的关系都是破碎的。
But that God from the beginning made a plan to send His Son Jesus Christ to rescue us from our sin and the penalty of our sin.
在人类一刚开始就有罪的时候，上帝已经应许说，基督耶稣会一定来救我们，所以我们跟上帝的关系可以和好。
There's no way for us to make ourselves righteous by our own works and our own efforts.
我用我们自己的力量没有办法救自己，没有办法做出任何行为是让上帝觉得是好的。
But God did all the work for us already on the cross.
所以上帝他做完全部他所需要做的，他自己就做好了，在十字架上。
By faith and repentance in the name of Christ, we can be saved from our sins and be reunited with God.
我们是有上帝的恩典，是依靠着耶稣基督，我们相信耶稣基督救我们而被得救。
That is the message that undergirds our lives as Christians.
那个是我们基督徒的动力，每天起来，我们为什么可以有新生命的这个动力？
Now, I think it's really important for us in this passage to look at who these messengers are that Paul is talking about.
所以我们要来看看第11直到第21节，保罗是跟什么样的人说话呢？
Who are the people that are messengers of this glorious message?
所以这些传福音的人，这个人是什么样的人呢？是讲到谁呢？
Is it apostles?
是保罗只是跟使徒们说话吗？
Is it pastors?
只是跟其他的门徒或牧师说话吗？
Is it people who are really good at evangelism?
是很会，他是特别只有跟很会传福音的人说话吗？
No, the people who are messengers of this message are people that have been changed by this message.
保罗在这里讲到的人，众人都是已经接受这个福音、接受这个信息的人，就是这些人。
People that have been made right with God are people that tell others how they can be made right with God.
是跟神的关系已经和好的这些人。
Those are the people that share with others how they can also be made right with God.
每一个基督，他是每一个基督徒已经在传扬这个好的讯息的人。
It's not a professional job. It's something that what it requires is God changing your heart and changing your mind about who He
不
is.
是一个特别的工作，而是每一个有新生命的人。
And every single one of us has a responsibility because of what God has done for us to tell others how they can know that same message.
每一个新造的人都有这一个重要的使命要做，都有这个任务。这个任务是给每一个新造的人。
Are we excited about this message of what God has done?
我们有没有很兴奋？我们有这一个可以做这样的事情，我们有没有很兴奋呢？
Are we excited to tell it to others?
我们有没有很兴奋可以传扬这个福音呢？
I know a lot of times it's easy for us to go astray in all of these areas that Paul has talked about.
那常常我知道，在这里面我们会没有做到像保罗这提醒我们要做的这些事情。
We know that people are going to kind of be offended by what we say, and so we don't want to say it to them.
可能我们已经心里有准备说，他们一定会不喜欢听到这个福音或者讯息，所以我们会想要避免。
I'm afraid to talk about it because I'm afraid I'm going to be attacked for it.
可能我们会很害怕，因为可能别人会控告或批评我们。
Maybe you can say it's hard for me as I think about my life to really recognize that everything needs to be given over to Jesus.
或者是我们想生命的每一部分都要全部摆上给耶稣基督吗？我的生命一定要为他，完全为他而活吗？
We live as if we're fans of Jesus but not His slaves.
我们可能是像做耶稣的像影迷那种感觉，说我好喜欢你，可是不是做他的奴仆。
Maybe it's that instead of looking at ourselves as beggars, we say, you know, there's certain people that I'll tell this message to, but other people I'm not willing to bring it.
可能我们看自己不像一个乞丐，跟另一个乞丐说食物在哪里。可能我们觉得，我们是一个比较好的人。有一些比较那一种人，我不喜欢跟他们传福音我比较喜欢跟这一些人传福音。
Or maybe we're not good ambassadors. Maybe we change the message.
或者是有的时候我们不是做基督的，我们做基督的使者，而我们不是做一个好的使者，我们扭曲了这个讯息跟福音。
We just talk about the good parts of the gospel. We tell people that they can have a better life or that they can be blessed.
可能我们讲到比较舒服的这些讯息，说上帝会祝福我们，会给我们好多很好的事情，可是没有讲到完全的讯息。
But the reality is this is a message that should completely change us.
可是真实的这个讯息，这个福音是完完全全的会改变我们的生命。
And the hope is that in this next year, as we are living our lives, that we will be more and more changed by the message of what Jesus did for us.
我们的盼望是在这一年，我们在查考福音的这个讯息的时候，我们每一天来思想，这是多么的美好，上帝的恩典。
And that we can be more and more faithful in sharing it with those around us.
我们也可以很忠心的传扬这个福音。
Now, has this message changed you and changed your life?
所以这个讯息有改变你的生命吗？
Let's live according to that.
我们来为上帝而活。
May God bless the reading of His words.
上帝祝福每一位读他话语的人。